Welcome to your practice today. We're going to do a meditation today around releasing fear. In traditional Chinese medicine, fear is the emotion related to the water element. Fear is a helpful emotion. It keeps us safe, it keeps us alert and attentive. Constructive fear keeps us aware of our surroundings, and it also allows us to mobilize and become courageous when we need to. But out of balance, fear can become immobilizing. It can actually keep us from being able to move forward in our lives, and that we get stuck. So our practice today is going to be working with the water element with a meditation, once again, on releasing fear. The first thing I'd like you to do, though, is take your right hand and place it on your forehead. And then take your left hand and place it behind your skull. Close your eyes, and there's just a gentle compression here. That you feel your head held. You feel your brain soften. And as you hold your head here, feel that there's a sense of safety. And as you begin to breathe slowly and deeply, you just start to cultivate a softening. There's this reassurance that you're able to lean back into, but also this nurturing quality from the hand on the front of the head. This feeling of safety and protection. Just take another moment. Deep breath in and out through your nose. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open, remove your hands for a moment, and just soften your eyes and notice that there's this essence still of your hands supporting your head. And then take your right hand, and you're going to take the edge of your hand, sort of the side blade of your hand, and from your shoulder, your left shoulder, you're going to draw an X from your shoulder all the way down the body to the hip. And then you'll do it with the other hand, left hand to right shoulder, and just gently trace and slide and move. Let's do that a couple more times. From left shoulder to right hip, just drawing a line. And from right shoulder to left hip, pull down. Good. One more time, close your eyes and just draw through and down the body. Left hand to right shoulder, draw through and down. And then pause for a moment, and again just sensing those lines from shoulders to hips, hips to shoulders, creating a sense of fluidity and balance. And then if your eyes aren't already closed, go ahead and soften them. You can also gaze downwards. Notice first your pelvis, heavy and steady. And feel the stability and the security of the pelvis, the keystone of your body, anchoring you into the earth. And then feel the stem of the spine buoyant and springing upwards. And then you feel your head, mostly the brain, just floating right on top, held perfectly, just as though your hands were still one on the front of the skull and one on the back of the skull. Fear is an appropriate and necessary emotion in order to keep us safe, to keep us alert, But out of balance, and when we begin to accumulate fear, it turns into anxiety, it can turn into phobias, and it can immobilize us. It can suspend us from being able to take action. Continue to breathe gently, peacefully, and turn your attention into the question, what do I fear daily? Taking a moment to examine. And it can be something simple like being afraid of being late, being afraid of not showing up and producing quality work. It could be something where every time you get in the car, you're afraid of being in a car accident. But just take a moment and contemplate, what are your daily fears? Fear in the right quantity is a natural and healthy emotion. Just taking a moment to examine. And as you notice where and what the fears are, I want you to register in the brain where the fear lives. Does it feel like it's in the front of the skull, the top, the back, the sides? Just being curious. There's no bad answer, there's no wrong answer. Or perhaps you feel it in the center of your chest or in your guts. Or there's a muscular contraction in the neck or in the thighs. And then we just take a moment to notice where that excessive fear lives. And as you identify it, I want you to bring your breath into the space that the fear lives into. Take a deep, slow inhale through your nose. Exhale, sound your breath. This is so important. Inhale through your nose. Breathing and creating just a bubble of awareness to hold the fear inside of your body, suspended for just a moment. And then exhaling with sound, which allows our nervous system to begin to discharge and soften. Inhaling again, being as specific as you can into where in the body or where in the mind fear accumulates and suspends you. And I want you just to pause and hold that in suspension for just a moment. And then exhale, releasing with sound the back of your throat. Turning your mind inwards once again to contemplate what would it feel like to walk through your day with less fear. How would that register in your body? And I want you to live inside of that space for a moment. A feeling that fear has softened. That you're able to, in a balanced way, access fear to mobilize you, to help you become courageous when it's necessary. But that any accumulation, especially the small daily moments, that you start to live inside for a moment without that fear being present. Notice how your organs become a little heavier and softer. Let this imprint on you. Again, fear in the right quantity and balance keeps us smart, it keeps us safe, it keeps us alert, it allows us to take action and become courageous. But out of balance, it halts us. It can accumulate, it can keep us from doing things that we actually want to do or love to do. And that you take time to soften and surrender and feel it leaving your body. Trusting that you have everything that you need for this journey. And you can access it at any moment, under any circumstance. Feel free to stay here a little longer. If you'd like to finish with me, let's gather our hands to our heart. Take a deep breath in. Offer a bow into your courageous self, into your ability to shed fear, but to also still have access to it. In the right quantity. Namaste. Do free diving.
I love it.
Do like a little Red Riding Hood.